ones and twos. And I just come here to let y'all know it's about to get real filthy in this motherfucker.
And action.
You can't cheat on my notes.
What do you mean your notes? What do we need your notes for?
So in case you didn't have your own notes, you don't have your own notes?
I have it all up here.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
I'm prepared.
All right, welcome to episode 31 of In Todd We Trust. You can access the podcast on itwtpodcast.com to see spoiler-free one-sentence reviews, episode descriptions, song of the week playlist, movie track playlist, and submit to be a guest on the show. Not everyone gets that privilege and gets so lucky. We have 3 guests up here today, one special one, and then 2 people who are supposed to be AV crew, and then snuck on to the podcast.
Do you treat all your guests like this? With so much love and
only
appreciation?
the AV crew. Only the AV crew. So we have Guliana here today as my very special guest, one of my best friends, and she just graduated from kindergarten. So everyone give her a round of applause for that.
Jules.
Jules, how was your first year of kindergarten?
It was good.
Solid? Was it better than daycare?
I didn't even go to daycare.
No? You skip right over. So she's a prodigy. What's your favorite thing about school?
My favorite thing about school is recess.
Okay, I'm with you.
That was my favorite part too.
That's 100% my favorite part. Also, you had swimming lessons earlier today, right?
Yes.
How did that go?
Good.
Good? Oh, that didn't sound convincing, Jules. What is your favorite part about swimming?
My favorite part about swimming is when we went to go in the deep end.
You
the
can go
deep end? You're already in the deep end?
That's big time.
I can't even go in the deep end.
Yeah, I was I also, when I was 5, I had swimming lessons, and for whatever reason I thought that they couldn't see when my legs wouldn't leave the ground, so I would say I was swimming and just be walking, and then my instructor would call me out for it, and I would be like, no, like my legs are up, I promise, they're just under the water.
You were that tall when you were 5.
Okay, alright, we're moving on. We're moving on.
What a liar.
I was tall. I might have been a little older, but for the sake of the story, I was 5. I might have been too old to be doing it.
The story doesn't quite add up. When he was 5,
Yeah,
last year my instructor caught me.
Shut up.
Walking.
Shut up. So as you all can hear, besides Juliana, we also have Bianca, who Juliana just introduced me to Bianca and Vanessa earlier today. So I think they're 2 of her friends from kindergarten, and also cousins. So if you all want to introduce yourselves.
Bianca and Vanessa, we are sisters, and we are Juliana's best friends. Yeah. Yes. Right.
Yes. Are you forcing it?
Am I also gonna get a little shout out because I also graduated?
Oh wow! Dang. Okay, so yes. Sorry. Okay, so Vanessa also just graduated from kindergarten in Iowa. So she was at the University of Iowa's kindergarten program. So
yeah.
So
it was tough, but I got through it.
She made it through. So shout out to you. I appreciate you all coming up here. So song of the week. This is one of my favorite parts of the show.
Jules is ready.
Jules,
so
we will start with you. What's your song of the week?
My song of the week is Trampoline.
Trampoline. Who is it by? Do you know who it's by? No. Trampoline. I heard it a little bit earlier.
What is it, Shaed
before the
something?
show.
It's
Shaed,
a very
Shaed.
mature song for a kindergarten graduate, but it's your thing, girl.
She's advanced. Yeah, she's advanced. The song, I heard a snippet of it before.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a solid song, so that's a good pick. Bianca, do you have a song of the week?
Yeah.
Wait. Can you guess what it would be before she even says anything?
Is it Camila and Shawn Mendes?
No, I haven't even heard it, so no.
Okay. I don't know. She's not, I know Bianca lives under a rock for.
Anyways, it's one of your favorite bands.
Oh, Secret Cinema? No?
So it
Foster?
happens to be a band that has recently gotten back together.
Oh my gosh,
and
not
Todd
the
is
Jonas
a huge
Brothers. Get out of
fan
here.
of the
I
Jonas
can't stand the Jonas
Brothers.
Brothers.
So I'm
Next,
a big
Vanessa, what
fan
is
of the
your
comebacks. Brittany, what's your favorite song?
Mine is Remember When from Wallows.
Okay.
Todd, you don't like it?
What's yours? What was your song?
I said the Jonas
Come
Brothers
Back.
comeback.
Oh, Comeback. Oh, that's the name. I thought you were saying they were coming back. You're saying that's the name of their song?
Yes.
Of course they would
because-
name a song Comeback.
Honestly, the hostility in your voice.
My favorite song, or not favorite song, my song of the week is "Imagination" by Foster the People. Actually, I was listening in the car on the way here though. Tudor Cinema Club.
They're coming.
Yeah, the new album. I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet. I don't know why I didn't know the album came out like a couple weeks ago, right?
No, like a couple days ago.
Oh, a couple days. Okay, all right.
So you're on the right.
I'm on the right. Yeah, I'm current. Okay, cool. All right. We have random rapid fire questions for Jules.
Jules, ready?
Jules, you ready?
Hit it, girl.
No prep for these. All right.
This is even better.
Who is your favorite Toy Story character?
My favorite Toy Story character is Bo.
Bo. I like Bo too. What kind of toy would you be if you were a toy?
I would be Forky.
Forky.
That's a good one, Jules.
Who did you like more, Woody or Buzz?
I liked
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Buzz.
Buzz. Okay.
What?
No, we do have a Buzz toy on the table here.
Yeah,
For
I think
those
that
listening who
distracted
can't see, what is your favorite game to play at school, at recess?
My favorite game to play is Unicorn Tag.
Unicorn. Wait, what? So are you gonna break that one down for me?
How do you
What's
play
unicorn
that?
tag?
You pretend like you're a unicorn, and then the mom tries to get the baby.
Sounds
All right, we're
crazy.
more to come on that, people. We got to get that manual. I will post the manual on my website so that you all can. It'll be like episodes, reviews, and then different forms of tag that I have a manual. So more to come on that. What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Coco.
That's a good one. Coco is the only other movie
That you cried in.
that I've cried in recently.
Or should have thug
Last
tier,
year.
as you said.
Yeah, I should have thug tier. So it's good to note that it's a thug tier, it wasn't soft by any means.
I'm just wondering what makes it a different tier. Like, why? How is that a thug tier?
What are the levels of tears?
What are the tiers of tears?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it depends on who it comes from, right? So because I'm for all intents and purposes, a gangster, it was a thug tier. So
if Vanessa were to
Good
cry,
joke.
what kind of tier would
punk
that be?
tier.
A
Yeah.
punk tier.
weak tears.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the differentiator right there. Do you like going to the movies more with your mom or dad? You're not here, so.
You can say whatever.
I go with my
Oh, man.
I wasn't expecting that.
I was gonna bail you out and say you can say both, but it
But
is.
go,
it is-
say the truth, girl.
It is daddy. Yeah,
Tell us
no.
what you really
Speak your
feel.
truth. What is your favorite slushy flavor?
My favorite slushy flavor is blueberry.
Blue. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
good
with
choice,
you.
good choice.
All right. So that is our rapid fire round. Also, before we start the movie, Jules just got a puppy and named him Jackson. Where did you get the name from?
We got the name from my friend, but her puppy is gonna be sold away.
Oh no.
Oh, I know a friend who sold
so
their
she
dog
should be-
away.
His name is Todd. Have you met him?
Yes.
So to clarify out there, if you all don't know the story and you're listening, I had a puppy, and even though I just met them today, Bianca and Vanessa drove with me to go get the puppy.
How long was that drive, Todd?
The drive was roughly 8 to 9 hours.
There and back,
There-
so that's
so
a
it was a
solid
16-hour
9.
day.
Yeah.
So we went there. I saw that you were gonna struggle with the math, so I thought
Yeah, I was like, it's not 19. But it was. It felt like 18.
she was like 36 hours. So
I graduated, I don't need to do math anymore.
So we all went. That you have our kindergarten program. What's happening?
That's first grade level.
So we went. So we drove there, picked Domino up. What was her name? Even though your family repeatedly told me it should be Domina instead of Domino.
Yeah, because it's a girl. Domino sounds.
Well.
Anyway.
Like a pizza place.
Well. No, we're the game. But anyway. Picked her up. I had her for a while, but it was a struggle. I had a studio apartment. She was a very active dog. Something's wrong with her. She's crazy. I just wanted to.
She's a puppy. She was just being a puppy.
She was
you know?
terrorizing everything, which again, I don't blame her. It was my fault for getting a puppy in a small apartment where I could not spend a ton of time with her. So as the responsible adult I am and I was like, okay, I need to find a better home for her because this is not fair. And so therefore I found a friend.
A farm. You found a farm.
It's not a random farm. It's not a random farm. It's a family of a friend, and they all have alternating. It's a couple. They have alternating schedules. So one person is always home with the dog. So I figured that would be a better solution. Vanessa and Bianca have not forgiven me for it.
I don't think we can.
They remind me every week about it. So
yeah, it just hurts, guys. It was deep for us.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it. We probably had her.
We had her
times a lot.
We were emergency contacts.
2 weeks. Every
Bianca
month
was
we had her.
Domino and my emergency contact when I lived in Chicago.
We definitely had some moments where she was one of ours. And
She loved me.
It hurts.
Just sleep on my neck, and you just can't find that every day.
I think I don't think she liked you both. I know she liked Jules. I know she was a fan of Jules. She did tell me that, but she wasn't a huge fan of you two, and it is sad because I know you all loved her a lot. But
I have pictures that prove that she did.
Yeah. Well, the viewers can't see that, so you have to take my word for it.
I have the receipts.
The receipts. All right, so Toy Story 4, the IMDb description: when a toy called Forky joins Woody and the gang, a road trip alongside old and new friends reveals how big the world can be for a toy. The movie came out June 21st. I went and saw it on the 20th on that Thursday showing. Bought my ticket a couple days before. I was pumped up. I was ready. So the cast for it, you have Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Keegan-Michael Key, Jordan Peele, Keanu Reeves, and then Kristen Shaw. I think I'm saying that correctly. She is one of my favorite voice actors for children's shows and movies. She's Tina and not Tina. She's Louise in Bob's Burgers. She's in Gravity Falls, which is a Disney cartoon that I've got hooked on Hulu for whatever reason.
No.
Don't judge me. Adventure Time. She's in Adventure Time, and then also Despicable Me 2. So I'm literally listing off 4 of her 60 credits. She's in a ton of different things. You'll recognize her voice, but she's the dinosaur.
Yeah, I
in
was
Toy
gonna say
Story.
that who she was.
Yeah,
Very distinct voice.
very distinct. So she didn't just do voice acting either. So I've seen her in actual human things as well. But the director is Josh Cooley. This was his first major film directing. He has been a voice actor though for Inside Out and Up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great movies.
Yeah, they are.
Is that the guy that does voice acting for literally every Pixar movie imaginable?
He's not in a ton. He's in a couple. And then John Lasseter was the writer, and he has written all the Pixar movies for the most part. I was looking at the list of pretty much every Pixar movie he's done. And he also does Disney's anime movies. So if you've ever seen Ponyo or Spirited Away is super popular. But yeah, so he did that. The runtime for the movie is an hour and 40 minutes. So yeah, Jules is already laughing. She's fed up. She's laughing at you guys.
Are you laughing at us, Jules, or are you laughing at Todd?
Ew.
Yeah.
I told
you guys. So okay, before I went into the movie, I had super high expectations.
Oh, naturally.
Yeah, I had super high. In my opinion, Toy Story 1 through 3. And in this one too, let me just clarify so you already know where I stand. I love this movie.
I feel it gets to a point though with Pixar movies where you're okay, after a certain point, it's probably best that you just don't try and remake it or just cut it off.
Yeah.
And that's where when you get to a fourth one, you have high expectations, but you're
you get
you're
nervous.
either gonna make this really good or you're gonna ruin it for
Yeah,
me.
and that is very true. They haven't done a fourth.
Right.
So fourth is there's a ton of trilogies.
Yeah.
But once you get to 4, that's dangerous range of
Yes.
are we overdoing it?
Yeah.
Are we? So I wasn't nervous because they haven't given me a reason to be nervous. But the Forky, I was when I saw that, I was how's that gonna play out? Are they gonna rely to have it sounded like they're just making stuff up at this point.
Right.
We're getting out of control, but they didn't. They did it really nicely. When you first went in, Jules, what were you thinking? Have you seen the first 3?
Did you see Toy Story 1, 2, and 3? I don't know if you have. I don't think she has. I think it's maybe before her times.
Before your time? Okay. What did you know about Toy Story going there? Were you excited to go see it?
Yes.
Yes. how do you think it stacked up to Coco?
Do you think it's better than Coco, or do you think it's different?
It's
Like, what did you like about it?
I liked about it like when Forky said garbage
Because he's trash.
Yeah, trash. When he called the toys trash, that was amazing. And he's like, hey, these are the rest of the toys. He's like, trash?
He was one that I was skeptical about too, though. I was like, he's either going to be really good, or I'm going to hate him because he's not a toy. He's trash. But
You're
then,
right.
they fed onto that, and I enjoyed his part.
Yeah, no, I did like him. Like Toy Story is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like that, the series is, and even the first one, like "You Got a Friend of Me" is my favorite Disney song of all time.
Great.
Which it's hard to say that because there's so many good Disney songs, but that's my favorite. Randy Newman, who actually sings the song, had some other original songs in this one too that weren't bad, but. I like that they stuck with him too because it's like you're used to that like
you have
sound.
to keep it classic.
They do like a remake.
Yeah.
They always do that. Literally every Disney movie.
Yeah, I did. I did like. I remember was it the third one where Buzz had where he had the Spanish setting.
Oh yeah.
And they had like the Spanish version of "You Got a Friend of Me."
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was the
at
third.
the end or whatever. Yeah, that was the third. So one thing I noticed at this one is there was no Pixar short.
And before, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Is
short.
there usually? I heard that with this one that I think Pixar movies don't have the shorts.
Well, no, those are the ones that do have those are the ones that have
maybe I was
them.
wrong.
Yeah, so
That's interesting. But Toy Story's never had shorts in the beginning
have they not?
because they started doing them around Toy Story 3, and that one didn't have it.
Come on, you gotta get your facts straight, Bernadette. I'm
I
sorry,
know for a
Vanessa's
fact.
nickname is Bernadette, by the way, too, so I might call that during the podcast. I don't, actually, now that you say it, wait, what was the one for the third one? I feel like
There wasn't.
I don't
sure?
know if there was either.
Are you
Yeah.
sure? We're gonna
You could
Google
look
it.
up.
We're gonna Google it, but we'll
Because
keep
that
going
was
for
like
now.
afterwards.
Okay. I know that I remember distinctly like the A Bug's Life, which is one of the earlier Disney Pixar. They had the old man playing chess. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Oh!
Yeah, that was A Bug's Life.
How do you remember these things?
I've watched some of this stuff a million times.
I mean,
but Toy Story I can't recall, so it probably doesn't because I really can't
I guess
It
think of one.
doesn't need it.
It definitely doesn't need it, and I thought like it was. It definitely caught me off guard because I was expecting one, and again, that might just because I wasn't.
Maybe because it's like already it's like own little like franchise that like you know what it's gonna be about, that you don't need something to like watch and like be like, oh, that was nice, and let's get to the movie, you know?
Yeah, it could be. I think it first of all it caught me off guard because I was waiting for it. So like when it first comes on, you have like the lamp bouncing and it starts raining. Like it cuts right into the action, which made it more dramatic.
Yeah.
So that first opening scene.
in the rain.
In the rain, with a couple things that stood out was like the animation because like obviously like Pixar is like number one in like animate like or Toy Story when that first came out, it was like groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Like they hadn't seen animation like that before. But it kept getting better too. Like if you go see the first Toy Story compared to this one, like this is way better.
On Twitter, they have a bunch of like comparisons.
Oh really? I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, it's there. I mean, each movie got significantly better. Like even when I saw 3, I was like, wow, this is way better. But this one with the rain, like it made me notice like how crisp like all the stuff looked.
So
and it just was a super touching moment. Like that was the first tier. So the first tier is like when he's saying bye to her in the box. When they're about to get split up, and then he just like has to fall, and like that got me. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up. It didn't come down. It like teared up, and I was like, no, stay strong.
Wow, the love tears are real, huh?
Yeah, it was. It got me. Wait, so okay, time out. So you all weren't emotional at that point?
I mean, I think it was definitely sad, but
I was emotional throughout.
Okay, all right,
it was
exactly.
definitely sad. A tear didn't show yet.
And then afterward, when they started playing "You Got a Friend in Me," I was like, kill me.
Did you all go together?
We literally all went together.
Okay, got it.
And the entire time she was just like, "Oh my god, I want to die."
Literally kill myself.
That's where she was at.
Jules, did you cry?
No.
No? It wasn't sad?
Like, did it not make you feel bad for your own toys? Like, oh man, I threw that one out, you know? Like, you didn't think about your toys? Like, look at that doll over there. Do you not feel bad for her? She's just laying there.
Yeah.
Waiting for us to leave so she can get up and walk away. What's your favorite toy?
What's your favorite toy right now?
My favorite toy right now is
You have a lot. You have to pick one that you play with the most.
I play with the most. My American Girl doll.
Your American Girl doll.
That's a good pick. It's a
That's a
classic
good
pick. Classic pick. Woody is, so if I ever get kidnapped or anything, Woody is the GOAT as far as
Oh,
like
yeah.
rescue missions.
Not Buzz.
Yeah.
Definitely
No.
not Buzz.
No. Buzz with the inside, like the inner voice.
He
was
got
hilarious.
so lucky
Yeah.
with his inner voice.
The inner voice thing was hilarious. But yeah, no, Woody is like
What
the
does
GOAT.
it sound like?
Yeah. He was like staring at him in confusion. That was hilarious. But when you know what? I would say the Toy Story movies, even though I think they're all equally as good, like I don't know if I'd say like this one's way better than 3 or 3 is way better. They all got funnier though.
Yes.
Like, this
That's
is the
what's
funniest
really
one.
hard to do though. It's
Yeah.
a matter of like keeping the same characters and then you add a few, but there's some that you're not gonna like. You gotta keep the comedy and not overdo it.
Right. Yeah.
Especially in a Pixar movie.
I think they did it really well. I think that it got really funny. And because 3 was like super funny to me. So that was something that stood out. Also,
And creepy. This one was a little creepier.
it
That was my worst
Yo,
nightmare.
the
That was my
ventriloquist.
worst
Oh,
nightmare.
yeah.
I
I
got
wasn't
so
ready.
mad. I was like, this is my worst nightmare. This is my worst nightmare.
I wasn't ready for the ventriloquist dolls.
No.
Flappy.
Yeah.
They were scary,
Were you
right?
scared of the ventriloquist dolls, Jules?
The ones that were
The
with
dummies?
Gabby.
Yeah.
Also, Gabby was kind of scary too.
Yeah. Gabby was like really scary.
Would you get a Gabby doll?
No.
We don't want Gabby. And that's why she didn't have a kid.
Right, I was like, yeah, get Gabby out of here. Right, exactly. Like she was mad creepy.
Yeah, we don't want
And just like the old timey store, like the
Yeah.
setting was
Yes,
already
the
creepy.
antique store. Oh no, thanks.
It was super creepy. Also, did anyone peep that Andy's dad was black when they did the 9 years before?
Wait, what?
No one peeped. Okay, all right. Maybe it was me.
The guy picking up the toy?
No,
Picking up Bo?
No, when they
Oh, he was
flash
picking up-
forward,
No, yeah.
when he is giving the toys to Bonnie, is what you're talking about, right?
Maybe I don't know. There's that like I think it was during the 9
very
years
beginning
before, the
part.
very beginning.
Yeah.
Like it was a guy like in there like who like hugged the mom or something like that, and he.
Yeah, but he was just picking up Bo.
No, you're talking.
Oh, he was just picking up the
Yeah.
taking bow. Oh, okay,
Wait,
got
why
it.
do you think that was Andy's dad?
Because it was a guy in the house. Like I just was like, all right, like, and but I didn't put together. I was like, oh, maybe Andy's like mixed, and we didn't know.
Todd wasn't paying attention to the movie.
Yeah.
It looks like
I was-
clearly. I mean,
Like, I never
Alright.
got that was his dad.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Like I thought maybe
Moving
Andy was
on.
adopted. I don't know. It could have been. There's a lot of different things. Yeah, the Woody and Bo Peep thing broke my heart though. There were a lot of different themes. Stop looking at my notes. Cheater.
creepy.
Yeah, get out my notes, girl. Try to like say the stuff I'm thinking before I say it. Jules in my notes. But yeah, no. So the themes. Stop looking at my notes.
I'm not looking at your notes.
I see you looking.
I don't need your notes. I'm prepared. Let's go.
Yeah, sure. So the women power, female empowerment thing that has been like super like prominent in films. Like I talked about a couple podcasts ago how that is a theme that you're seeing a lot in movies. And I think a lot of movies, even though it's a super important point, a lot of movies are doing it in like a way that's like kind of corny or like campy, and it's like just not written well. And I think that this was an example of one that was written well, how they did it. So like obviously like Bo Peep being like
Oh yes.
like
yes,
the
yes.
you know what I mean, like her being the little thing that the
Even
one
the
that
little
like
sheriff.
I was like yeah, obviously the little sheriff who I actually noted reminded me of you.
Who?
The little sheriff reminds you of Bianca.
Why me? I would like
No?
to know.
I
Because
don't
she's
know.
3'11".
Yeah.
I would like everyone to know that my exact height is 5'2", and that is
I
average
don't
for
believe
She's
that.
3'11".
Yeah.
for my age.
You're not 5'2".
And for
You're not 5.
do you?
Bianca, you're not 5'2". I'm sorry.
Sorry, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
But I'm 5'2".
So the little sheriff, if you all can't, if you are just listening on the podcast and not watching on YouTube, or don't follow Instagram or anything like that, Bianca is actually
This little
a
sheriff
midget.
could be a dwarf, is what it is.
yeah.
And so, what
And
Todd
we're
is
not.
saying.
It's fine. It's not. You know, there's a lot of people who have dwarfism, and that's
Yeah, what do you gotta say, Bianca? You got a problem?
just gonna
with
make
yeah.
it?
There's
this-
nothing wrong with that.
Just
Embrace
gonna
your
make that
community.
same
But yeah. So so you see that. So you have the female cop, right?
Mhm.
And then you also have Bo Peep, who's like kind of the boss and kind of holding everything together.
Oh yeah.
And then Disney, I feel like, has been pushing for like more modern themes anyway that highlight women. And they've done a good job so far. Like, I mean, I think their most successful one has been Frozen. Obviously, like that was the most like
Frozen,
publicized, most popular one. No,
You did.
Jules,
You
you like
love
Frozen?
I did. Like,
She's tired of it.
And it's just old, but there's a new one coming.
Jules, are you excited for Frozen 2?
yeah.
Like Olaf.
I don't really get what's happening with Frozen 2. Like the trailer didn't really tell me.
It's confusing,
I think
but it looks
probably like a
cool.
different characters.
But it doesn't look
there.
funny. Like,
Yeah.
where's Olaf? I need Olaf. I mean,
I
I saw
saw
him.
yeah, but
But
it
it
looks
seems
more
very-
serious.
yeah,
it
it
seems like a
looks-
real like drama.
Yeah.
Like it isn't. I'm like, wow, this is like, I don't know.
Serious business. Like,
Yeah.
Elsa, you gonna be a good girl? I don't know.
Yeah, yes, you could be a good girl. I do wonder how they'll do this one and if they're gonna try too hard with the
Potentially.
themes. You know, I don't know. We'll see. But I do like Frozen. I don't like it as much as
Toy Story.
like no, definitely not as much as Toy Story. But like, I think it got like super hyped up.
Yeah.
For what it was.
Uh,
Super played out.
Yeah, it got super hyped up. It had one like really good song. It's not a bad soundtrack. What is it? What's the song that they sing?
What's the
Let It
thing?
Go.
Oh, Let It Go.
No,
Yeah,
Let It Go.
Let It Go.
Yeah, Let It
Jules-
Go.
Yeah,
Jules
Let
is
It
over
Go.
No, what's the
And then
the
Love is an open door.
Love and Open
Yeah,
Door? That's,
yeah.
that Love and Open Door is fire. I'll
Vanessa
give him that one
clearly knows
too.
the entire soundtrack.
I had argued that Tangled was better than Frozen.
Do you like Tangled?
And Tangled kind of got overlooked.
It was kind of funny because she kind of like hit him with a bat, and I'm like, why would you hit him with a paint? Like, with
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, weird.
I
I
That's
never
all
watched
she
it.
had. She was stuck in a tower.
No, you're right. You're right. Hitting people is not right, Jules. Don't listen to them.
Don't listen to
But yeah, I thought Tangled had a really good soundtrack too. That like Mother Knows Best it was a jam. I was
Good for
actually
you.
listening to that in the car. not
Yeah.
too long ago,
When you got here, you're like, yeah, let's go.
Mother Knows Best is a jam. It's like one of the best like villain songs. But yeah, so I think you see that in here. All the movies have dealt with Woody becoming like obsolete or old news.
Yeah.
Like the first one obviously with Buzz coming in, like
Yeah.
he felt like
Oh,
insecure
yeah.
about that. The second one is when he goes to like that guy who's like a collector,
Yeah.
and they're trying
Yeah.
to make him be like, hey, like we're not as popular anymore. We can go in a museum like forever and be adored by kids. Like they don't appreciate you. The third one obviously is like Andy going off to college
Going on
and
at
like he's
that
not
stage,
playing. He's
yeah.
putting
That's
him
like
in the attic and all that. Like you don't want to go in the box in the attic. Like so it's always dealing with that issue of like being insecure and then also like being there for your toy. Like he's definitely like a ride or die. Like he obviously he wants to be played with, but like his main priority is always making sure that the kid
Yes,
is
he's
happy.
happy.
So I thought that was
Forky
like
is a perfect example of that.
so
Forky.
for
Like,
yeah, I don't
this
know,
guy
I
thought it
forget
was
Forky.
trash.
I'm garbage.
Trash. I'm trash.
Just let me be in the garbage.
Yeah, that's what he thought he was. And, Woody was like, no, that's not what you are. You're with Bonnie.
Yeah, you're Bonnie's toy.
Yeah.
You're Bonnie's favorite toy. And he was like saying it like it was like a tear. Like, I was a favorite toy once. Like, that was hilarious. Like, watching Woody
How
be like a
emotional
vet.
he got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a vet in the game. The transition, I do understand though, like the transition being hard, like going to the next stage. And obviously, you just finished kindergarten. Was the first day tough?
Were you sad
I-
you missed your mom and dad?
No, I saw like a lot of people from preschool, but it was kind of sad it was kind of sad like other days because there was a new girl and then she cried for her mom and her dad.
Oh no.
And did you help her?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Kinda.
I'm a vet. I don't need help.
Yeah. But no, I actually remember my kindergarten orientation, which is crazy.
Tell us about it.
So I went and they had me like, it was me and one other girl, Paris, who
One
went-
other girl, really?
Yeah, it was another girl there. It was like we were both there for orientation, so we like met and became friends. And I remember like going over like shapes and stuff like that. Like it was like an assessment more than anything. And then I remember because they like orientation was like before actual so we had like a week before or whatever. And I remember we were like playing the hula hoops and me and Paris were trying to see who could hula hoop longer.
Sounds like your first love, actually.
It was not. No.
Hated
it was not. I mean, shout out to Paris.
Paris.
No. Paris was cool. Paris was real cool. But yeah, no. That I do remember vividly my orientation for kindergarten. But yeah, no. Going to a new school and stuff is
it's tough.
It is tough.
Transitions.
It is tough. But I'm glad that yours was easy.
I actually am going to a new school, but I'm gonna go with my cousin.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
With Ava.
Oh, Ava's going?
Well, she's already there, but yeah, I'm gonna see her.
Oh, fun. Okay, got it. Why are you switching schools?
Because I want to be with my cousin.
That's okay. That's a good
They
plan.
create danger for whatever teachers in that class.
Yeah.
You two together are just awful.
That's
Bad
hilarious.
news, right?
Well, there's two different
Teachers.
no, there's two different first graders, but like first grade classes. But I hope that we go in the same first grade class.
But don't you think it would be better if you weren't? Because you could focus more and like
Make new friends.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
For school, you need to focus.
So Forky, he reminded me. Have you all ever seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like the original, like the claymation looking one?
No.
What is wrong with you all?
No.
What? Have you not seen it?
I've seen parts of it, but I've never.
Like
seen
if I have, it was
Yeah.
what, so long ago? Isn't that really, really old?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was like it came out way before. It was like the 60s.
I think you just have really good memory. That's all.
Well, no, I watch it every year. I mean, you all don't watch like the same Christmas movies when they come out each year, like every year, like around December. You don't watch like.
No.
Usually just like the Good to Know Alone.
Oh my gosh. I mean, both great movies, but like you all are missing out. But anyway, there's a. Do you all remember Hermie the elf that's in Rudolph? No. Okay. Well, Hermie was an elf that wanted to be a dentist. Yeah, but it was really funny. Anyway, Forky reminded me of
Sounds
Hermie.
funny.
Very similar show.
You know what he was? Do you ever like watch animated movies and you're like, I know that voice, and you need to look it up right away?
Yeah.
He's the guy from Arrested Development, and
Saw
I was like, oh, what a guy.
And I thought he was Hermie, so I looked it up and I was like, is that Hermie? And I saw the young guy. I was like, oh, he probably was alive in 1960s. So yeah.
So yeah, definitely not.
It wasn't him, but that is who he reminded me of. I am sad that you all do not even
Sorry.
watch the Rudolph. What are you all doing?
I'd love to take a poll and see if everyone does the same thing.
Oh my
To be
gosh,
honest,
get
I
out of
feel like
here.
you would be not disappointed with that poll. I feel like a lot of people have watched that movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm about to say 100%
It's
people
the
have seen
most
that.
classic movies
Um,
you see in the wintertime.
Yeah, come on.
Sorry.
What about Santa Claus is coming to town? Whoa. Okay. All right. We're gonna keep.
Wait,
going.
with like Tim Allen?
No. Now that's the Santa Claus. All right. We're done. We're done. I'm very disappointed in you, Vanessa.
If anything, it's Vanessa. I don't watch movies.
Yeah, I was saying I know Bianca just like
I don't
reads
really
and
watch a lot
drinks
of, like,
tea,
Christmas.
but
Drinks TV.
yeah, drinks tea. Do you drink tea?
Oh. Yeah. When I'm sick.
Ah, I got you.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
I don't like tea when I'm not sick. Yeah.
Not for you. I do think it's interesting how similar. Okay, mine is Sid, because obviously Sid was like the main villain in the first one. I do think it's interesting how all the villains are similar to Woody, except for they just like went left at a point. Like
Yeah.
so, my point is all the villains are villains essentially because they felt like thrown away by their owner, by their kid,
Yeah.
or just didn't feel like adequate, but then turned that and became evil versus like Woody, who just tries harder to then make their kid happy in other ways and support. Like obviously, like he went to school with Bonnie. He didn't
Weren't
want
all
Bonnie
the
to-
characters though like never loved by a kid like Woody was?
No.
I mean,
So, like it was the inspector.
The inspector
So-
was.
He was, but then he just ended up being like put into like
On
whatever
the
he was
shelf,
like.
yeah.
He
Or
was
was he? I
popular.
feel like he was always in the box.
Maybe
Yeah,
he was always
no, he
boxed.
was.
Yeah, he was. So maybe his was like he
His
was
was
never.
set
boxed.
And then Gabby
But it
was
a-
never played with either.
Yeah,
She
so I
was-
think there is
Gabby.
a common.
So I
like
should
none
say,
of them had a kid. Is really what it was.
I guess I should say
There's only
they
the
all
bear.
deal with the same issue of the bear had a kid. The bear had a
Yeah,
kid
the
was
bear
thrown
had a
off to the
kid,
side of the
yeah.
road.
what, what bear?
That's a movie. You didn't see Toy Story 3.
You gotta
then.
see the third one,
You
Jules.
gotta see
That's
Toy Story 3.
Huh?
Yeah.
yeah.
See Toy Story 3.
But yeah, I think that I think it's interesting how like all of them like it all had to deal with like the lack of or the loss of a love of their kid.
Yeah.
And that's like what became, turned them into villains. Like they weren't bad toys. They all want the same thing. Every toy wanted the same thing to be played with, right?
Yeah.
Like even the toys that were like lost toys, like they went to carnivals, they went to like the sandbox to be played with. Like that's kind of what every toy like wanted. So
There's a birthday party that was like so
yeah,
weird.
yeah,
We're all gonna get played with.
It's hilarious. Yeah, there was a lot of funny parts though. Like I said, this one is I think is the funniest one.
There was a lot of good characters, I will say that. Like each
Yeah.
one of them were unique enough where it was funny.
They were they were definitely they were unique. Like the trash thing was hilarious. Buzz listening to his inner voice. When Forky had a lot of real funny parts too. When Forky put his hand on like Gabby's, and you just see like you remember the scene where like you just see the pipe cleaner just going up to comfort her.
Yeah.
I was dying at that. Forky when he was like brushing her hair. You just see him like
the
the backwards.
wrong way.
Yeah.
His whole beginning of it, just coming into it, was great. Like, he said not a lot, but that was more than enough for me to be like, okay, he's gonna be a good one.
Every line he had was
Trash.
it was hilarious. And then Duke Kaboom, and
Oh,
he's
God.
like Rajon.
Yeah,
That was
the flashback of Rajon.
yeah. I was when he was.
The neglect.
I was dying when he went for the 40. When he went for like the 40-foot jump at the end.
I
And you
can't.
like
And
you see like
Rajon
Rajon's like
coming at him.
this is for you, Rajon. I was dying. There was so back to the funny part, but also Key and Peele. Key and Peele, I
Perfect.
think. I was when I saw that, I was like, are they gonna like again things that made me worried for this film? Key and Peele, Forky. I'm like, what are we doing?
Really, Key and Peele made you nervous?
I like Key and Peele, but I didn't know if they were just gonna be like annoying or like if they're gonna be too much, but they weren't. They were perfect. They were super funny. Do you know Key and Peele, Jules? No.
How would she know?
No, I was about to say they're not any other kids stuff out there. Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know.
I was trying to think. Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
No. Ducky and
And Bunny.
Ducky and Bunny. Did you see?
Oh yeah,
Did
Ducky
you
and
like them?
Bunny.
And what?
They're funny.
Yeah.
First
they
they
were
started
fun.
off Mad TV,
Yeah, they started making TV
and then they came
Wait,
up
you don't know who they are either?
show,
Bianca?
and then Jordan Peele did
Get Out.
and Us. Bianca doesn't know anything.
Bianca, what?
Sorry.
All right.
I was
But yeah,
just
they
trying
were
to
really
fight it
funny. That part when they were trying to hatch a plan on how to get the key,
Yeah.
and then they just kept like jumping on the old lady.
Oh,
beating her
now
up.
I'm following.
Dinner.
They,
And then they're like,
Yeah.
And then they're like, and then the grandma's like, oh, these cute little persons. And then she leaves her cake. And then she's like, and then they're like, winner, chicken dinner.
And they attack her.
Yeah.
They were funny. They were great add-ons.
They were really funny. So at that point when that happened, the lady next to me in the theater, was like an older lady who was there with like her family. She lost it. Like she was like falling out of her
Dying.
seat. Like I mean, this lady's at least 40 something like years old, and she's just like
They
she
were
couldn't
great.
contain herself. But it was really funny. And then they had the long plan when they like went to
Yeah.
her house and everything. I was dying.
Like, we're not finished yet.
Yeah, right.
He's like in the tub with a glass of wine.
Yeah. Asleep.
The writers, man, they do a great job.
Yes.
And it's like, I think it's good that Pixar, based on what I was looking at earlier, like the credits, that they have like writers that do all the Pixar movies and stuff like that. So,
Okay, go.
but yeah, that's super fun.
Wait, I have a question.
What's up?
Since you mentioned the lady, since you go to the movies by yourself, does anybody ever look at you like, oh my god, there's this creep, he's by himself at a kids movie, like everybody hold your kids.
Shut up.
Everybody
Shut up.
hold your
Everyone
kids.
hold your kids like I'm a creeper. You know what? I do feel weird when I go to like this one was a film, obviously Toy Story that came out when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So you saw a lot of older couples. I mean, you didn't see
Yeah.
anyone who's there solo like I was, but I do go to all these movies alone. Which one did I go to alone? That was I went to one movie alone, and this old lady
Dogs.
was there with. What did you say?
What was it, Pets or something?
Let's Secret Life of Pets.
Secret Life
Secret-
of Pets.
Oh, I mean that too. I mean all these.
Because that
all these
has
ones alone.
nothing to do with our generation at that point.
No, at that point it was literally just me and like a bunch of kids, and they're like families that were like taking their little kids, like little kids. But I went to one, and it wasn't even a kid movie, and it was an old lady and her daughter, and her daughter was like 40 something, so it was like really old. And I ended up sitting right next to them, and she turns to me and she's like, "Are you here by yourself?" And I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, cool. That's cool. And it's turned away.
Good for you.
Really?
Like I'm like,
And
I
she's
want to
like,
tell her like I'm
hey,
not.
sweetie,
losing.
we're gonna move down 5 more
Yeah.
seats.
I want to tell her like, yeah. So.
Like, have you seen the act
No.
about the Gypsy Rose Blanchard
No.
girl?
Where are you going with this?
Because they're by themselves watching Cinderella, and she like plans to have her boyfriend meet them, and he sits right next to them. And the mom is just like, "Okay,
She's
she
putting you in a
moves,"
really
and then
bad
he keeps
category.
going.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but I say now I'm like a creeper.
Yep.
No, I don't know. I started obviously like started going to the theater by myself, and then it's like I prefer it now unless it's a horror movie. Like I can't go myself to a horror movie, but any other movie I can go by myself.
You need comfort from somebody else.
I didn't say that. I
You
want
just need to
someone
know
else
that
to enjoy it.
somebody's there.
Yeah, I think I just want someone else to enjoy it. Yeah, that's all. I do think this one had the toys going to the real world more than any of the other ones.
Yeah.
Like they interacted with the humans way more than like any other film. I felt like they were almost like guardian angels in this film. Like they just like did like they manipulated a lot of the situations.
I mean, getting to the carousel, was it?
Yeah,
when they were just like, turn right,
Yeah,
turn
right.
left.
That was hilarious.
Let's get the dad and put him in
Yeah.
jail. Dad's going to jail.
Oh, that was actually,
That was
he
hilarious.
was another good character.
That would be a
Forget about
unicorn.
that.
Like he had maybe 5 lines,
But they
were
the
good.
best
They were
5
good.
lines.
That was one of the things. So that was one of the things that I had as a knock on the film. It's probably one of the only things I have negative to say.
What?
I wanted more of the OG characters.
I was just gonna
Yeah,
say, like, Jesse and all of them,
Jesse
they were
and
kind of
Rex,
just, like,
Rex
to the
and-
side.
the Mr. the potatoes. Like
Didn't say anything.
Mr.
They were
Potato Head
good
is
there.
like he's like in the pig. Like they're like key
They were kind of
hilarious
left
characters.
in the dark, I will say, for this
Yeah.
one.
I think one of them though, I feel like the guy died. Like the
Oh,
voice
what?
actors.
Okay, can you get that confirmed? You keep bringing up some
Well, because
random
I was
facts
looking
that
up the actors, and I felt like one of them was just like way too old, and I'm pretty sure I heard he
I
died.
just felt like he was
Or
like,
she just killed him off right
yeah,
now.
I was about to say you
He's old, he must have died.
Hey, can someone fact check Vanessa? Just go back and re-listen to the episode and just all these.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
Fake
I have
claims.
the app.
She came prepared, everyone.
Yeah, she's ready. But yeah, I think that it was a lot of. I feel like we kind of missed out on having those characters that were like super funny from the original that were on here. Like I said, the animation was dope. Their animation's always super cool. The music, the score was actually pretty good in this one too.
What was it?
I mean, just the music throughout.
Oh,
Like the music
just
throughout. Yeah, it wasn't like
Don
it was-
Rickles.
passed
Yeah,
away?
he died.
Who was
Oh, he was
the?
90.
He plays Mr. Potato Head.
No,
Oh, yeah.
dang.
See, and you're over here.
So maybe
saying-
that's the I mean, that's just one character,
Yeah.
compared to everyone else, but
But didn't this guy die too? Oh no, he's still alive.
Yeah.
now Vanessa's killing the characters.
Yeah.
But
Right. But dang,
Mr.
that is
Potato Head
sad. Why didn't they? You would think they would have like in memory of or something before the.
You're right.
the movie.
At the
Yeah,
end.
he died last year,
It's messed up.
2017.
Pixar.
Yeah, you would
Oh,
think
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Dang, that is sad because I mean they're hilarious like that, like the Mr. Potato Head and then the
Mrs.
pig
Potato Head.
and Mr.
And
Potato
the
like
pig.
those.
I mean,
are,
just all of them, like Rex.
we want Rex.
Jesse.
Yeah, they're all funny. So I wish I would have
They
seen
could
more
have
of
had
that.
some more screen time.
But yeah, Woody and Bo Peep reuniting at the end.
Okay, question.
beautiful.
Did you think he was going to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did? You had like a
Yeah.
feeling?
I knew
Yeah.
right when he gave away the voice box that he wasn't.
He was like done. He like
said
realized
it.
I'm not worth it anymore.
I knew. I mean, at the beginning of I knew it was gonna come full circle. Like I knew that, from the beginning when she departed. Obviously, we saw in the previews that she was in the movie.
Right.
So even at the beginning when she left, I was like, oh, okay, so this is like it's gonna be a big like reuniting, and that's why she's in the wild. So they kind of established that.
Mhm.
So once they established that it was like a love thing, which I didn't pick up on from the previews, as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, so this has to, obviously it can't end with them being separated again. It's
Yeah.
going to end with either her going and being either
With
with a
them.
Gabby
Yeah.
or he's going
I
to
thought he was going to take all the toys with him and be like, okay, now you're all Bonnie's
Yeah, I
toy.
didn't think.
Oh,
I thought
right,
they were
yeah,
all
right.
gonna eventually just like leave or go together, but not be complete split down the middle.
Right, I knew it was going to be one of the. When it started going throughout the film, I was like, okay, so either she's going to go with Bonnie or he's going to be a lost toy. And then as they start like, you'd be a good lost tour, like, oh, yeah, why don't you come out here see the world out here? I was like, okay, he's probably gonna end up going, and I'm gonna cry.
I will say, Woody was a bit petty with certain things that he was saying.
Woody did get a little below.
You gotta give it to Bo though for still sticking with him.
She's a ride or die.
She's a ride or die.
Just know you got a real one.
Yeah, Woody's a real one too, because it's like she respected that because it's like he sticks to his guns. Like these are my beliefs, and
this is what I believe in.
And he does not leave a toy behind. Like
regardless of how
crazy
intelligent they may be. Forky was
right.
a lot of work.
Forky was a lost cause, man.
He was.
But yeah,
But he got better.
He's a ride or die, so respect.
He was just confused.
What, did you give up, Jules?
No.
She's taking a break.
Jules is taking a quick break. Totally fine. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Take a break, girl.
Do what you gotta do. But when Duke made the final jump, like I said, that part was hilarious. The Gabby moment almost made me cry.
I just she was so evil in the beginning. I couldn't feel that bad for her.
Yeah, me neither. I was like,
she literally was about to break. Like no one realized he really just got surgery, and I mean that was a big deal.
It is, but it's like dang, like when she didn't.
She was still not loved.
It wasn't even necessarily her not getting picked. Like that part, her not getting picked was almost like, that's what you get.
Yeah.
But then but after that part, like the part where she was like,
it was like,
when she got picked, when she got picked though, like by the time we were like, okay, we like her now, and then she ended up getting picked by the girl.
And
that part was touching, and it's like that was touching.
Oh yeah, when the girl was lost, yes.
Yeah, that was more touching. Yeah, the initial one where she was like, and she's like, you can take it if you want. She's like, nah. That was hilarious.
Don't want her.
But yeah, I definitely never cried more in a movie.
Oh, the ending was just, man.
That was rough. That was rough. That it's a great movie. It wasn't
I think all their endings, and I think it was a third where they're all about to be burned together, right?
Oh,
and they're all holding hands.
Yeah.
That to me, I was like, there's no way it could get better than this ending.
Well, they can't. They could have ended it
so emotional. And then this one was just all right, I guess you can do that.
Yeah, with the burning and them holding hands, I knew they weren't gonna get burned.
Of course, they weren't gonna die, but
did though.
In a kids movie, that would have been
that would have been crazy.
Could you imagine if they all just
they just killed every character off?
Dang, yeah, that would have been rough. All right, so in conclusion, I think that side note, you watched Handmaid's Tale, right, Vanessa?
Yeah.
You don't.
I watched the last
episode. Okay, all right. We're not.
What's going on? How do you guys watch
this?
So I have a lot of questions, everyone. We're gonna now intermission and start talking about Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, no. I was about to say SNL should do a skit where the toys are like of Andy or of Bunny. Because I thought about that when they had Southern names at the bottom.
The handmaids don't have a specific purpose. So what are you trying to get at with that?
I don't know. I just literally the names on the bottom of the shoe. That's literally the only connection. I just thought SNL could make a funny sketch of that. Maybe have Tom Hanks on SNL. They do something with that. I don't know.
I was telling him yesterday.
It's very
I don't want to live in a
raw.
world where Tom Hanks isn't alive.
Oh yeah,
their friendship. If you watch videos of the two of them interacting,
him and Tim Allen?
yeah, and they're just so happy that this is this. Obviously, this movie brought them together, but they truly are a Buzz and Woody friendship where they're pretty tight.
Yeah, no, it is really cool, and Tom Hanks is the GOAT. I love Tom Hanks. Everything he does turns to gold, so I think this is I don't think this is any different. Literally. I think it's important how the toys or pets and things like that can make it easier for kids to transition from things. You know, what I mean? So
it's a comforting feel. Of,
it's
not that hard.
100%. So I mean, some people have a favorite blanket or a favorite stuffed animal or whatever pet. You know what I mean? But I think that's the bigger focus here of that is crucial. That is an important part for kids to transition from one thing to another. Whether it's school, you're moving, all that stuff. I didn't like how they integrated so much real life with this. You saw the parts where they this is the only one where they've done that. Where it was a real cat or a real life shots like some of the overview shots in the carnival of real people. That's a small critique, but I don't know.
I think just because Pixar is doing that more and making sure to because before we never knew how Andy's mom looked. She was just a
you were just a body.
Right. Yeah, that is true. So I mean, maybe they're doing that as the animation starts looking more and more real, or maybe it was just cheaper than trying to animate that entire overshot of the car. I don't know, but that was I didn't.
That does take away from it though.
To me, it did. Yeah, I thought so a little bit, but I mean, not enough to where I'm I hate it now. But that I didn't like that a lot. And like I said, I wish the other toys were involved more. Is there a better 4-part or more movie series?
No.
I feel like at this point, I mean, what would be the
Because there's
conclusion?
not a lot. There's like
Toys,
Shrek.
Star Wars. Shrek. I mean, animated
Shrek
for
4
sure.
was bad.
But that's Shrek 4 wasn't all that. I mean, and I love Shrek.
Except
I love
do the
Shrek.
roar.
Yeah, do the roar.
I love that little kid. I love you, Daddy. Oh, it's such a great character. Such an underrated character.
Oh my God.
Everyone needs to go. What's his kid's name? We need to look him up.
He's so relevant.
He's relevant in my life.
I love that you've seen it, Bianca. That's
No,
why
I showed her.
Oh, you did?
I've seen the movie.
No.
Yes, I have with the babies.
Oh,
Shrek had kids. Did he not? Is that not 4?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it
he
is.
has it in the third.
Are you back? Jules,
Jules?
have you seen Shrek 4? Do the roar. Have you seen that one?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Have you seen Secret Life of Pets, Jules?
No.
No, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen. Well, I have seen the other ones, but I haven't seen the new one.
Oh, got it.
Oh, there's
okay.
two.
The new one, I think.
It's
Is pretty good. Well, it's better. It's better.
If you guys want to come out and take a break, you can.
Okay.
Thanks, sister.
We will be out in a second. Give us 5 minutes and we'll be out.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Jules. Oh, you coming
You're
over?
back.
Jules back. Jules is
Back.
back in the house, people. So we're just wrapping up, Jules, and we're saying that we think Toy Story is the best 4-part movie series. We're gonna go back and watch that as a group soon.
Okay, so there's Shrek and what else?
Well, animation-wise, there's not many.
Right.
But as far as like movies in general, like Star Wars, Fast and Furious, like Star Wars obviously is like the one that I
It's
get
just-
the most backlash from for saying this is better. But as far as a 4-part series, a lot of like super big hardcore Star Wars fans will complain that episodes 1 through 3 weren't as good as 4 through 6. And I'll complain that these new ones are whack, like the new Star Wars that they've started up, like episode 8.
They're overdoing it at
They're
this
whack.
point.
Yeah, Disney's just trying to get a check. So I think Toy Story is my number one for four movies or more.
100% agree.
As far as trilogies, it's the best animated trilogy but it's not even close.
Did you ever watch, was it Monsters University?
Monster University is
Was
amazing.
it good?
Yeah, Monster University is way better than the first Monsters. It's better than
Really?
Monsters.
Have
Yeah,
you
it's
guys
hilarious.
ever
It's like a
watched Zinc?
Zing.
Nope.
Have you
What
ever
is that?
It's like with
An element?
like so.
Chemistry.
No, we're in the periodic table.
The
Can't
monsters and then the little
Is it a movie?
girl, and then the little
Todd,
girl.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of it.
She's pretending.
Look it up.
I mean the
Is it like a Monsters Inc. movie?
No.
Zinc.
It sounds like it's like a DreamWorks type.
We gotta. All right, so we'll have to circle back around on Zing.
Yeah, we definitely don't know what that one is.
So, Jules, question: what would you give this movie on a scale of 1 to 10? Bless you.
Bless you.
I would give it a 10
10.
10.
That's high.
That's a big score.
Yeah.
Why is it a 10?
because it's super funny and it's kind of sad.
Yep.
It's a
That,
good
you know
mix
what?
of both,
That
yeah.
is a good mix. That's
is.
that's very accurate.
It's hard to do both well.
Bianca, thoughts?
What, I mean, I feel like 10's a hard score. It's like a,
You wouldn't give it a 10 out of
I mean,
10?
I would give it a 10 out of 10, but I feel like that's just because I'm a Toy Story fan and I would give all of them a 10 out of 10. Like, just because they're all so great.
That's fine. If you want to give it a 10.
But I will give it a 10
All right.
for reasons of the characters, it being funny, and it being a good ending where you weren't just like, oh, this is what it is. Like, it ended on a good note. So, 10 for me.
Cool.
10.
10. All right.
10.
I'm giving it a 10 then too.
10's
How
all
would you
around.
not? Like, I couldn't find anything.
10
I
all
can't find a
wrong with
reason,
it.
yeah.
So
Why
I
would
haven't
it
given one a 10, but I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know if I'd change anything.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Like I said, I wish the toys were involved more, but
But that wasn't such a huge thing where I was like, what? Like,
they didn't
you
ruin
weren't
it
overthinking
by
yeah.
they didn't make you think. I mean, it just was like it kind of got. I was like, dang, I wanted some more of that, but like they supplemented it with other stuff, and
Yeah.
I got it. It was a focused on it was Woody's.
There was a story
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
that you
it
had
was
to follow, and it probably would have gotten disconnected if we had the other ones in there.
Probably so. You're right. It wouldn't have been as touching. I don't know if it would have been as
Yeah.
like, had the same effect, but yeah. Amazing movie. You should definitely go see it opening
Everybody go
night.
see
I
it.
would not wait to go see it like Friday or Tuesday, Netflix. Like I'd say opening night. I went on the Thursday. First time I've done that in a while.
I don't think
a long
I've ever
time.
done that. Or maybe I
On
have,
a
but it's
Thursday
not.
night?
The Thursday?
Especially in school when they have $5 movies.
I am not.
Movies every Thursday.
Yeah, $5. We have $5 Tuesday, so that's usually.
We
my
have
movie
$5
day.
Tuesday, $6 Thursday.
Oh,
Wow.
that's not bad. So yeah, I'd say hit it as soon as you can. When's the last time I've done that? It had
Probably
this.
at
This
school.
isn't the last time. I know this isn't the last time, but this is one time that I vividly remember. The midnight showing of Twilight. The midnight showing. It was what was it?
wow.
Breaking Dawn. Is that the
I
name
think
of
I
it?
did that too.
I definitely did
Did
that
we do
joint.
that? I didn't watch it with
Yeah.
you.
I
I
definitely
don't
did
think
that
I've
one.
ever done that. Honestly, I might have done that with like what was that one? Mockingbird or whatever? No.
Oh yeah.
Jay.
Okay.
I need to, yeah.
Get together, girl.
Sorry, guys.
Great movie though. What movie are you excited for that's coming up soon, Juliana?
I'm excited for. I heard that.
Weren't you excited for Secret Life of Pets, you said earlier?
Oh yeah.
It is. Yeah, you should check it out.
It's
All
gonna
right.
be a good one.
You should totally check that out. That's what I reviewed last week. So I think you should tell your mom or your dad, since that's your favorite person to go to movies with. Tell him to take you.
And tell your mom that you guys are busy.
Yeah. Yeah. When you went to the store.
Yeah. You're gonna
Bianca,
know.
what are you looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to The Lion King, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm worried just a little bit because there's a lot of great characters, honestly.
that's
But
all in the row now.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of those movies that like to overdo it and to
Yeah.
redo it.
It's risky.
Yeah, it's risky business
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm excited. We'll see.
I have a list.
Bernadette. No, you don't have a list. You have one.
No, you have
You
one.
have 10 seconds. You're on the clock.
The Lion King.
Seven.
I know Booksmart already came out, but I want to see that really bad. And Rocket Man.
All right. Rocket Man. I'd say wait.
Why? Did you see?
Because I saw it and I didn't like it. You don't have to trust me. Yeah, I know you have a lot of time on your hands.
What about you?
I am looking forward to Chucky. That's a hot
What?
Listen,
Why?
listen.
You've seen.
I don't like
It's
horror
scary.
movies. Chucky, Child's
Is
Play
it because
is terrible.
of what's her name?
So for you all who don't know, I'm actually dating Aubrey Plaza. So I feel obligated
For
to
y'all who
support.
don't know.
Yeah, so I
He's
need
never
to. I have
married.
to support. And anyway, I'll go. I couldn't make the premiere when she invited me a couple weeks back. I've been busy with work, so I got to get out there and see it before she kills me. So
She must be so upset with you.
yeah, she's forgiving.
Yeah.
So that is it. That is our episode. Jules, did you have anything else you want to say?
Yes.
Oh yeah. go
Hit
ahead.
it, girl.
It says that I hope that everybody that is homeless that they can get a house.
That is
Wow,
wow.
I was not expecting that at all.
Dropping knowledge.
Thanks,
all right.
Jules.
No, that's a jewel from Jules. That's our
That's
new
a
segment.
jewel from Jules.
Yeah, it's gonna be our new segment, Jules from Jules, at the end of the podcast, like on a serious
Yeah.
note.
Jules
So-
from Jules. I like that, Jules.
Yeah, everyone who's homeless, hopefully they get homes and listen
From
to the
Jules.
podcast.
Yeah.
That is all I had. Thank you all for being on here, specifically Jules,
Thanks
and
for
then your
having
two
us.
friends that you
Thanks for having us,
listen to,
Jules.
Bianca and
Thanks for
Vanessa.
inviting us over.
Until next episode, peace out.
Peace out.